In this tutorial we are going to talk about markings. Although we have already seen how to add markings using the Profiler HD, this time we will add some crosswalk and arrows on the surface of a road. We will especially take a look to the modifiers that allow that, the marking modifier, and also we will take a look to the height type modifier. We will also edit them using polynomials. So let's start. We will start adding some markings, the crosswalk. Let's create a line and choose the proper vector list ID, the crosswalk, and draw it. I will add one for each street. And when you are done, just press F6 and you can visualize it on the viewport. Now let's take a look to the modifiers that conform the crosswalk vector list. The first one is the height type. There are different possibilities and they depend on the situation. In our case, we are dealing with markings. They are on the surface of the road, so clip on surface makes sense. Relief will be good for a tree on a mountain, for example. We see layer. Layer is good to avoid flickering later on by giving it a higher layer ID number. That way you prevent C-fighting when we export it to game engines. And then we have the marking modifier that maybe is the more interesting, because here we can add different marking types and also we can change the material. Let's do that. Let's make one of them yellow, as if it will be like a under construction crosswalk. So select a new material. We are going to say here there is a group called road marks. The logic of that is if you select just the group, it will randomly assign one of the elements in this group to your vector. If you want to select just one, do it, and then it will be assigned just that one. So we choose that yellow mark and local override because we just want this one to be yellow. So here it is. Let's further explore the marking modifiers by adding some arrows. So imagine that lane will have an arrow that points straight and left, and that one will just point straight. Right now we just see the crosswalk, but we can change it here. So choose select them in element mode and choose vector template. And okay, the right one will be arrow straight, the left one will be arrow left. Yeah. I can imagine that the marking length is a bit too narrow, so maybe 2 meters or 2.5 meters will be good, and for the width 2 meters too much. So yeah, let's put 1, and the same for the other, maybe even less, like I don't know, 1.5. In order to visualize that, it doesn't work F6, so you need to build it. Let's see how it looks like, and that's our result. Oh, that one is a bit too big. So okay, we see here we have some C-fighting on the markings, and one arrow is like too broad. Let's repair that quickly. That issue is happening because of our clip-on surface height type. We need an offset, otherwise we can't get rid of that clipping. So let's see now how it looks like. We set an offset of very narrow offset, and yeah, so now there is no more clipping, no flickering. And for the arrow, we can select it also in the 3D view by clicking the button show vector data in 3D view, and then in element mode just change the marking width. Let's generate it again to see how it looks like in 3D. Okay, our arrow is okay, but we have those two nasty markings overlapping with a crosswalk. We don't want that. So let's repair that. The green, I'm gonna get rid of the green view by pressing F8. Yeah, reset all tiles, then I can have a better view. And select your road and then go to lane edit, lane 1. That's the one which profile lane HD contains the broken line. So select in element mode first that road. We see that the direction, it starts from here, so maybe just an offset will work for that. Let's try it. A 3-meter offset, and yeah, that worked. So it was easier to see because the line started there. So let's go to the other one. It's not the starting point on the crossing, so that's the end. It ends on the crossing. We are gonna try a different method. We are gonna make use of the polynomials. So we will draw one here, and I'm much more comfortable using linear polynomials, so I will change that here. Okay, and we just select it and we say known, so it has no marking. And yeah, here we go, here we have it. Let's generate it. Press F9 and switch to 3D view. Ctrl G works too, and it's looking much nicer now. So no overlapping markings with the crosswalk, arrows are nice, no flickering. And well, in next tutorials we will talk about adding traffic lights and traffic signs to that crossing. See you next time!